Hi, my name is Brittany Spears, and I'm a Math 291 tutor for the ASC at Winthrop University. And this is my tutee, Giovanna. And today we're going to be talking about an assessment where we work on forming word problems that are appropriate for elementary age groups, which include add to problems, take from problems, part, whole problems, and compare problems. So in the next portion of this video, I'm going to explain how to go about making these problems using my assessment, and then for the second portion, she's actually going to take the assessment, and we're going to see how that works out. Okay, so for my assessment, I made a tool where you can build word problems, which they are doing for Unit 4 at the moment in Math 291. So I'm going to explain it really quick before Giovanna goes ahead and does it. So in each word problem, the 4 different types, you have to know 4 different things. First, you need to know the equation. So an example of equation, for instance, they could pull out 3 plus 15 is equal to something, and then we pull out something else. Then we also have to know type of problem, which I said was add to, part, whole, take from, or compare. And for this one, we'll take a comparison. And then we also have to have who's in the problem. So let's do John and Jane. Okay. And then we will have what is in the problem. And I happen to draw flowers. So let's build a problem with that. So first of all, we know that we have a comparison problem. Okay. Here's our comparison. And so in order for comparison, we have to compare 2 different things with the equation. The equation is 3 plus blank is equal to 15. So the first part would be something like, well, let's see what we have. Our next part of our problem. We have John and Jane. So we're comparing John and Jane, what they have, and we're comparing the number of flowers they have, for example. So let's build a problem from this. You could say, John has 3 flowers, and Jane has 15 flowers. How many more flowers does Jane have than John? There you go. That's how we go about building a comparison problem with this. And this promotes higher order thinking because you have to take what your knowledge and you have to build a problem. You have to create a problem. You have to evaluate what you're given and create something from it, even though you don't know exactly what it is. You have to remember the structure, and you have to be able to create and think about your own thinking, and that's definitely a higher thinking skill. Alright, so let's see how that plays out. Okay, so now that I've explained the assessment to Giovanna, she's going to go ahead and draw some things from the cups, and she's going to make a word problem. So go ahead.
Okay. For what is in the problem, I got roses. For who is in the problem, I got Anna and Elsa.
Mm-hmm.
For the type of problem, I got an add to, take away. And then for the type of equation, I got 6 plus 8 equals blank.
Okay. So since we have 6 plus 8 equals blank, is this going to be an add to or a take away?
This is going to be an add to because it is adding and there's a plus sign, and it is not a takeaway because it doesn't have a subtraction.
Awesome. Okay, so we know it's add to. So I have a problem, and now we have to make that work with Anna and Elsa and roses. So go ahead and make a problem for that.
So since it's an add to, there's going to be time passing.
Mm-hmm.
So Anna had 6 roses, and over time Elsa gave her 8 more roses. So now she has 14 roses.
Right. So, good. Alright, now let's do some more. So go ahead and pull some more.
Okay. So for who is in the problem, I got Robin Gerard. For the type of problem, I got a part whole.
Okay.
For the equation, it says blank plus 1 equals 7.
Okay.
And then for what is in the problem, I got pencils.
Awesome. Okay, so we know it's a part whole, and let's go ahead and talk about it. So what's a part whole?
Okay, so a part whole is you have the whole is all of one thing, and then a part is like any type. So in this case, our whole is the pencils, and the part could be like we have big and small pencils.
Okay, awesome. So let's make a problem from that.
Okay, so we know that Rob and Gerard have 7 big and small pencils together. And then so for the blank plus 1, for the 1 we can do they have 1 small pencil. So then our problem would be if Rob and Gerard have 7 big and small pencils and one of them is a small pencil, that means 6 of them are big pencils.
Correct. That's awesome. Good. Let's do another one. Alright, Lil. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and draw another one.
Okay. So for equation, I got 20 minus blank equals 18.
Okay.
For what is in the problem, I got sweaters. For who is in the problem, I got Mark and Roger.
Okay.
And then for type of problem, I got comparison.
Awesome.
Okay, so since this is a comparison problem, I know that the first number goes to the first person and the last number goes to the second person. So I know Mark has 20 sweaters and Roger has 18 sweaters. And then so for the word problem, I can say that Mark has 20 sweaters and Roger has 18 sweaters. How many less sweaters does Roger have compared to Mark?
That's amazing. Yes. Very good. Okay. Awesome. Let's do another one. Alright, let's see what you draw this time.
Okay. So for what is in the problem, I got shoes.
Okay.
For who is in the problem, I got Lauren and Tyra.
Okay.
For the type of problem, I got an add to take away.
Awesome.
And then for the equation, I got blank plus 8 equals 14.
So what kind of problem is it since there's a plus sign?
So this is an add to problem because there is a plus sign.
Right, so you're gaining something over time.
Right.
Alright, so since we are gaining something over time, let's create a word problem from that using these variables.
Okay. So Lauren had some shoes to start off with, and since it's blank, we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And then let's say Tyra gave Lauren 8 pairs of shoes on her birthday, and so now Lauren has 14 shoes total. And so since it's an add to, we can say that Lauren started off with 6 pairs of shoes, and then over time Tyra gave her 8, and then so now she has 14 pairs of shoes.
Good, yeah, and that was good because it showed time passing, and it also showed that in the end, since you had something to begin with and then something over time, that in the end you had 14. That was very good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do one more because I think you really got the hang of this, but just do one more and I'll be happy, okay?
Okay, cool. Okay, so for equation, I got 3 plus 2 equals blank.
Okay.
For what is in the problem, I got drinks.
Cool.
For who is in the problem, I got Juan Pablo and Paco. And for type of problem, I got a comparison.
Okay.
Okay, so because this is a comparison problem, I know that the first person goes with the first number, which is 3, and the second person goes with the last number, which we do not know.
Correct.
And then so since it's a comparison, we know that the second number is the difference between them. So for the word problem, we can do Juan Pablo has 3 drinks and Paco has 2 more than Juan Pablo does. How many drinks does Paco have?
Correct. Good. That's awesome. And you showed a really good understanding of comparison problems, and you also showed a really good understanding of part, whole, add to, and take away. So that's great.
Thank you.
Okay, so as you can see from the assessment, Shavana was able to get a better understanding of the different types of word problems, and this is an assessment that you yourself can make very easily. If you'd like to use this with your Math 291 tutees in the future, you just have to have all the different parts. As you can see, Agile had 6 and they can just draw from here. And the reason why that incorporates higher order thinking is so they can build their own problems. Like, they themselves have to use their creativity and just their knowledge of the content in order to build. And building is a higher order thinking process, and creating is also in evaluating their knowledge of the content, not just memorizing content. As you can see, they couldn't just memorize how to do that, but they had to actually build the problems. So this is a very useful assessment to use with your tutees, and it's very effective, and I think she definitely has a better understanding of the content now. So, okay, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video.